But because almost all a constitution depends on the wisdom of Moses, our legislature, I cannot avoid saying somewhat concerning him beforehand, though I shall do it briefly. I mean because otherwise those that read my book may wonder how it comes to pass that my discourse, which promises an account of laws and historical facts, contains so much of philosophy. The reader is therefore to know that Moses deemed it exceeding necessary that he who would conduct his own life well and give laws to others, in the first place should consider the divine nature, and upon the contemplation of God's operations should thereby imitate the best of all patterns, so far as it is possible for human nature to do, and to endeavor to follow after it. Neither could the legislator himself have a right mind without such a contemplation, nor would anything he should write tend to be the promotion of virtue in his readers. I mean, unless they be taught first of all that God is the Father and Lord of all things, and see all things, and that thence he bestows a happy life upon those that follow him, but plunges such as do not walk in the paths of virtue into inevitable miseries. Now, when Moses was desirous to teach this lesson to his countrymen, he did not begin the establishment of his laws after the same manner that other legislatures did. I mean, upon contracts and other rights between one man and another, but by raising their minds upwards to regard God and his creation of the world, and by persuading them that we men are the most excellent of the creatures of God upon earth. Now, when once he had brought them to submit to religion, he easily persuaded them to submit in all other things. For as to the other legislatures, they followed fables, and, by their discourses, transferred the most reproachful of human vices unto the gods, and so afforded wicked men the most plausible excuses for their crimes. But as for our legislature, when he had once demonstrated that God was possessed of perfect virtue, he suppressed that men also ought to strive after the participation of it, and on those who did not so think believe. He inflicted the severest punishments. I exhort, therefore, my readers to examine this whole undertaking in that view, for thereby it will appear to them that there is nothing therein disagreeable either to the majesty of God or to his love to mankind. For all things have here a reference to the nature of the universe, while our legislature speaks some things wisely, but enigmatically, and others under a decent allegory, but still explains such things as required a direct explication plainly and expressly. However, those that have a mind to know the reasons of everything may find here a very curious philosophical theory, which I now indeed shall waive the explication of. But if God afford me time for it, I will set about writing it. After I have finished the present work, I shall now betake myself to the history before me. After I have first mentioned what Moses says of the creation of the world, which I find described in the sacred books after the manner following.